Hello and happy Monday. Are you excited about a new week, or are you like me going, it's Monday again already? We're back to the start of a new week. And I think last week was a short week, or supposed to have been a short week, but it seemed like a pretty long week and went right into the weekend. But here we are again at Monday, and Mondays mean that I stop in just to chat a little bit about God's Word and talk a little bit more about the verse that I posted on Sunday. And so this week's verse is one that maybe you're familiar with. It's in Psalm 55:2, and it just says, "Cast your burden on the Lord, and he shall sustain you. He shall never permit the righteous to be moved." And so this verse has just kind of been, jumped out at me recently, and one that I have been, reading and just convicted with, because we are supposed to cast our burdens, our cares on the Lord. He is there. He is willing, hands out, for us to run to him, for us to give him our concerns and all of that. But if you're like me, I'll do it. I'll pray about something. I'll say, okay, I'm putting this in God's hands, and then what do? I go back and pick it back up again, whether it's a hurt, whether it's a fear, whether it's a worry, whether it's a struggle. It's just like I kind of get to that point, and instead I get myself to this point where, okay, I got to give it to God, when I should have given it to him immediately. But I carry it, and I say, I can't do this anymore. I give it to him, and then I have some of that freedom, from it, and then something happens, or I just, I begin to worry again, or I have this need for control. Anybody with me? Do you sometimes feel like, okay, I need to control it, or things aren't happening the way that I want them to happen? So then I pick back up that burden, again thinking, well, maybe I can do just a little bit better job than he can. Are you with me? Or am I the only one that is kind of sometimes thinks that I can get better answers on my own? Unfortunately, I have done that a lot with a lot of things. But the thing is, you and I both know that all the answers are in the Lord, and all of what we have need of, he has, and he's willing to give us that. And not only is he willing to take our burdens and our cares, but then he gives us, in exchange for those, he gives us the things that we need. He gives us the peace, he gives us the joy, he gives us self-control, he gives us all those fruit of the Spirit when we let go of these burdens that we are carrying, that's bogging us down, that's weighing us down. And so this verse, like I said, has jumped out at me because, I've even kind of, or I have realized some things that, I thought I'd given it to him, and then, I keep picking it back up, or it's still maybe on my mind, or it's something that, when one thing comes up, I go back and I pick up those other things. But here in this space, we talk a lot about, fitness. It's, faith and fitness, and building a firm foundation of faith, so that we can build that fitness, but a healthy life on a foundation of faith. And one of those things for me was that struggle with body image, struggle with constant need for weight loss. And, I would pray and pray and pray about it. And I would say, okay, God, here it is. I'm going to believe your word. I'm going to believe what you say about me. But then what would I do? Oh, the next, flashy thing, the next craze, the next phase that came by that promised me weight loss or feeling better about my body, and I was thinking, okay, he hasn't answered the way I want him to answer, or as quickly as I want an answer, and, I'm feeling a little bit bad about myself, or I'm feeling a little puffy and bloated today. I better just go ahead and try this thing, or I better go ahead and worry about my weight again and feel insecure and let it consume my thoughts once again. But that's not the case. He wants it, and he wants us to give it to him and cast it on him, throw it out, throw it at him, let him take it. When we're, are you the person who, you get all your groceries and you have 5 bags on this hand and 5 bags, up this arm. So, see if you can, get all the groceries in the house in one trip or two, but, not have to do 10 trips. when you're doing that, or if you have stairs to walk up, you're struggling, you're not firm-footed. All of this weight is making you shift and trying to balance and all that kind of thing. And that is the way it is with life. When we try to carry these burdens and when we try to juggle all this stuff, we're not firm-footed. We're not sure-footed in our life. Everything is kind of out of whack and out of control. But he says, back to Psalm 55:22, he says, cast your burden on the Lord and he will sustain you. He shall never permit the righteous to be moved. So we can be firm in him and stand steady in him, but we have to give him those burdens. Just like carrying those grocery bags, I'm, tripping up steps, trying to get everything, making sure the bags don't break and all that kind of stuff. But I'm trying to carry more than I should be. And so, my footing is not firm. I'm not, in good, I'm not stable at that point. So it is with our burdens, of life, the worries, the fears, the concerns that we have. He wants to take it. He wants to, carry that for us, so that we can stand firm in him, so that we can then just keep our eyes on him and follow him and do the things he's called us to do, and the peace and the joy and the love that it is his and it is for us through him. It can come and live in our lives and flow through our lives if we cast these cares on him. So I just encourage you today, if you're feeling burdened, if you're feeling weighed down, have you picked up something that maybe, for me recently, I didn't even realize that things that I thought, they didn't bother me anymore, or, I haven't worried about that forever. I'm realizing that, okay, maybe there is still a little bit of that I'm trying to control. There's still a little bit of that I am holding on to. I've got to let that go. I've got to give it all to him so that I can walk firmly on the path that he has laid out for me and for my life, so that I can move forward. But we can't move forward when we're carrying all this extra weight that we don't need to carry. He wants to carry it for us. So I just encourage you today, as you start this Monday, think about, what's weighing you down. Is it just something from the weekend, whether it's the busyness, or maybe you had an interaction with somebody that's close to you that, didn't go so well, or maybe you're just, got up again going, I didn't exercise, I didn't eat right, just give it to him. Whatever that concern is, whatever that worry is, give it to him. And then move forward in the peace and the love and the freedom that he paid for you. That power, that strength, all of those things that we need to live life is in him. But we've got to first exchange it. Give your burden, give your worries to him, and then let him fill you with his spirit and all those things, the good things that will take you the next step and take you forward into the next, today and the path that he has for you. So I hope that you're encouraged today. Have a fantastic Monday, and have a great week, and I'll see you here again next week.